just got the signal that we're ready, so I really don't need a microphone. I have a big voice, so thank you very much for coming. We really appreciate you coming to see our hotel in Lake County, obviously. So we're very excited to have you. Just for our hotel, this is one of the markets that we really want to go after, especially for weekends. We don't do a whole lot of weekends here, so we'd love to have you come. If anybody wants to fill out a contract right now, we'll get your dates and give you some good deals. So, but let's talk about contracts. Anybody here a professional meeting planner? Raise your hand. I have one person. So what I gave you is 2 samples of a contract. This is our standard Hyatt contract. It's almost 5 pages. It's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of legal mumbo jumbo. And to tell you the truth, we don't use this contract for family reunions. We use a 1-page contract. Very simple. There's no cancellation or attrition. We really do a courtesy block for your family reunions. We try to make it as simple as possible for you to select us over some of our competitors. But other cities will use a standard contract. The reason why I put it out there is just so you can see some of the things that they talk about. Weekends in other cities are very important, and that's why this is how they control their inventory, is by a contract. So we'll go through it, but just so you can see the difference in what we do versus some of our other properties. So we'll discuss hotel policies, then contracts, attrition, cancellation, and concessions. So we'll make it very simple. Some of the hotel policies. We live in Lake County. Our hotel's in Lake County. So there's some different liquor laws that happen just over, if you go across Lake Cook Road, you're in Cook County. You're still in Deerfield, but the liquor laws are just slightly different. In our city, we kind of try to skirt the issues a little bit, but really you're not allowed to bring alcohol into a hotel. You can purchase it through a hotel. But you can bring alcohol into your room, as long as no one knows about it. That's how the law operates. So when you ask for a hospitality suite, it's kind of a tricky situation for us. We try to follow the laws to the T, but just be aware that certain areas have different liquor laws. So if you want a hospitality suite and you want to serve alcohol, you better make sure you talk to your hotel to make sure what the laws are in the area so they're not in trouble and you guys don't get in trouble either. So, food policies. We're very lenient on it. If you want to have a hospitality suite, you're welcome to bring in snacks, goodies, but any hot food or pre-processed food, we'll ask you to go through the hotel. Just for food safety purposes, things of that nature, and quality. So we think we can provide you the same food with better safety, so you don't have it sitting out all day and all that. We can also have some service with that as well. So just some things to talk to your hotels about when you're going through the contracting process. What do they allow, what they don't allow, just so that you're all on the same page. So, deposits. This one's a little tricky. I think you'll start seeing this more over the next year or so, just because of the way the economy is. This has become more topic. We're starting to hear it from our corporate office. And what you might see if you're looking at some of these larger cities like San Francisco or Seattle, or you're going to Detroit, maybe even going to Nashville, they might start asking you for deposits. It's just something that you want to be aware of. If they start asking, negotiate it, talk to them about it. If you're going to do rooms only, talk to them about that as well. We're not going to hold any food functions in the hotel room. We just need hotel rooms. Then they might talk about deposits for reservations. Because most hotels, when you make a reservation and you give them a credit card, they use that credit card to guarantee 1 night's room and tax. They may not zap your card right there, but that's what it's used for. That's why they will always ask you for a credit card at the time of reservation. So just be aware that when you're negotiating, ask what the policy is too when they make reservations. Do you need a credit card? Can we send in a check? Just something else, because this will come up more and more in the next 12 months, 18 months, depending on how the economy continues to go. So, cash is king. So, all right, contracts. As you said, we have 2 different contracts here. One important thing is food and beverage minimums. If you have a large family reunion, or we do a lot of military reunions, so I'll throw this in there as well. If you're going to host dinners or lunches or breakfasts, you will see a food and beverage minimum in your contract. And all that really is you guaranteeing the hotel that you're going to spend that amount of food on food and beverage. So it's kind of in lieu of a room rental for a banquet room. So say the Brown family is going to come, have a breakfast, we would put a minimum, say about $1,000, depending on how big their reunion is, so that you spend that money in lieu of a room rental. Hotels really don't want you to bring food into the hotel. They want you to buy their food. So, and we want you to buy our food. We'll work with you on pricing, and as Chef said, he'll work on special deals. That's the stuff you want to negotiate. So you make sure you don't put yourself in a bad position, your families, and the hotel gets what they need to satisfy their budgetary needs. So, because every room has a value to the hotelier. So they want to make sure that they get their money's worth for the room that they're going to give. And it's easy to negotiate that. And you can negotiate it up, you can negotiate it down. Mostly you probably want to go down, but the hotelier will want to go up. So you got to give it a good, fair middle ground. And the most important thing about contracting is you want to make it fair to both parties. That's the ideal situation you want to get. So, and that's what we always try to do, which is why we went to a one-page contract. You know, you walk out of here today, and I can say it's a kind of a slow weekend because it's spring break. But for the most part, weekends in this area are very slow. And my buddy Howard and I would talk about it all the time at the Marriott Suites. Weekends are just, until summertime starts, it's a little, you go, where is everybody? What a nice area. Why isn't anybody here? So, other things to negotiate, upgrades to suites, higher floors, presidential suites if you want to try to get, if you have a big enough family reunion, if you're going to take over a hotel, negotiate that stuff. If you don't ask, no one's going to offer it to you. You got to ask for it. So, it could be important. If you really want to have a suite, you got to ask for it. We don't always think about that when we're talking to people and what's important to them. We'll ask those questions, but it could be important to you if you've got 2 or 3 suites, or you got a higher floor, or you got to an executive club level. I was in downtown. I worked at a hotel downtown Chicago. We had a very large family reunion, and they negotiated. It was over Labor Day. They negotiated everybody into the executive floor, which means they got complimentary breakfast. And they negotiated. And it worked out really well. So they pay a little bit more in rate, like $12 more in rate, but they got, the breakfast, they got the afternoon snacks, they got hors d'oeuvres at night, so it worked out really well. Complimentary room nights. I think if you look in the larger contract, most hotels offer business groups and association groups 1 per 50 comp room nights. So that means for every 50 rooms that you purchase, you get 1 comp. Probably most hotels don't tell you that when you're looking at a family reunion. Something to negotiate. Talk to them about it. Hey, could you give me a 1 per 50? Could you give me a 1 per 40? 1 per 60? If you get a couple of free room nights, if you have a large enough room block, would it be worth it? Maybe give the patriarch of your family a free room. Would he or she love that? It'd be great.